Have you ever wondered how ancient people cooked their meals long before tools and cooking devices were invented? Imagine a time when fire was considered sacred and the kitchen was the earth itself. Well, today we're going to take you on a journey back to a time when cooking with stones was not just a necessity, it was an art form, a dance with fire and earth, culinary tradition almost completely forgotten by modern society. Join us as we uncover the fascinating history of cooking with stones, explore the reasons behind its disappearance, and shed light on the ongoing efforts to revive this unique culinary tradition. Now, picture this. You're standing beside a crackling fire, the flames leaping and dancing before you. In your hands, you hold a smooth, flat stone, its surface glowing with an inviting warmth. You've chosen this rock carefully, selecting it for its size, shape, and feel. For our ancestors, this was more than just a cooking tool. It was a partner in the creation of their meals. These weren't ordinary stones, but vessels of heat, patiently absorbing and radiating warmth to transform raw ingredients into nourishing meals. Now, let's delve deeper into the heart of this ancient practice. Why did our ancestors choose stones as their cooking companions? And what made each rock monolith a unique player in the culinary orchestra? Well, these stones weren't just any rocks. They were carefully chosen for their properties. Our ancestors sought out stones that were smooth, flat, and capable of holding heat efficiently. River stones, polished by the gentle flow of water over many years, were a popular choice. Their rounded edges and heat-resistant qualities made them ideal for cooking. Additionally, stones found near volcanic regions, such as basalt, were highly prized for their durability and ability to retain heat for extended periods. These stones became essential tools in the hands of our resourceful ancestors, enabling them to create culinary masterpieces using nothing but the power of stones and fire. Next, let's uncover the ingenious techniques our ancestors employed to harness the power of these stones in creating their meals. How did they prepare the stones? How did they cook their food? What methods did they use to achieve culinary perfection? First, the stones had to be prepared. Now, I'm not talking about polishing them further. It's already done by the river or nature. I'm talking about heating them up. And let me tell you, this was no small task. The stones were heated over an open fire, and this wasn't your typical barbecue. This was a slow and steady process. The fire had to be patient, much like the stones themselves, ensuring that the stones absorbed the heat gradually and evenly. Once the stones reached the desired temperature, they glowed with an inviting orange hue, signaling their readiness for cooking. Now, with the stones primed and ready, it was time to arrange them in a specific pattern. They didn't just create a circle and say, "Hey, we're hot." This was a carefully orchestrated dance. They arranged the stones in a way that maximized their heat retention and distribution. Some stones were placed close to the fire to maintain intense heat, while others were positioned further away to provide a more moderate temperature. It was a balancing act, a culinary equation that our ancestors solved through trial and error over countless generations. And here's where the magic happened. On top of this carefully constructed stone bed, our ancestors placed their food, whether it was bread, meat, or vegetables. The food rested, cooked, and transformed. This wasn't a quick process. It was a waiting game, a test of patience, during which the aroma of cooking food mingled with the scent of burning wood, creating an enticing and primal feast. So you may ask, what made this cooking method so special? Was it just the result? Or was there more to it? And you're onto something, because there was a deeper meaning, a cultural significance that intertwined with this cooking method. This was not just about sustenance, it was about community. As the food cooked slowly on the stone beds, families gathered around, sharing stories, laughter, and traditions. It was a communal experience, a coming together that strengthened bonds and created memories. The flickering light of the fire danced in their eyes, illuminating not just their faces, but the warmth of their togetherness. It was a celebration of the simple, pure existence, where cooking wasn't a chore and eating was a ritual. However, as time marched forward, this ancient practice started to fade, eventually disappearing from the everyday lives of most people. So why did this traditional cooking method fall out of favor? What forces caused it to fade into obscurity? One major factor was the introduction of new cooking tools and technologies. As human civilization progressed, new materials and techniques emerged. Metal pots and pans became common, offering greater versatility and efficiency in cooking. Stoves, first fueled by wood and later by gas and electricity, provided more controlled and convenient cooking options. These innovations, while groundbreaking, gradually overshadowed the use of stones in cooking. Another contributing factor was the shift in dietary habits and lifestyles. As societies grew, people's diets diversified, incorporating a wider range of ingredients and flavors. The emphasis on speed and convenience in modern lifestyles also played a role, making traditional cooking methods like using stones less appealing. It's important to note that the decline of stone cooking wasn't uniform across all cultures. Some indigenous communities and regions continued to incorporate stone cooking methods into their culinary traditions. However, for many, the practice faded into memory, becoming an obscure relic of the past. Today, the thought of cooking with stones might seem unusual or even primitive. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. Now, microwave ovens and multifunction kitchen appliances dominate our countertops. The idea of patiently waiting for food to cook on stones next to a fire seems like a distant and impractical notion. In our fast-paced modern lives, where convenience is king, the concept of cooking with stones appears antiquated. Yet there's a growing movement to revive this nearly forgotten art form. A handful of enthusiasts and chefs are rekindling the practice, bridging the gap between our ancestors and the present. These individuals, often referred to as outdoor chefs or bushcraft practitioners, are integrating stone cooking into their culinary repertoire. They're experimenting with different types of stones, cooking techniques and recipes, breathing new life into this ancient practice. Now you may wonder, why should we revive this traditional cooking method? What makes it relevant in our modern context? And you're asking the right questions, because there's more to this culinary revival than meets the eye. For starters, it's a way to connect with our roots. Cooking with stones allows us to tap into our ancestral heritage, experiencing firsthand the methods our ancestors relied upon for generations. It's a tangible link to the past, bridging the vast expanse of time and bringing us closer to our cultural origins. Moreover, it's a chance to appreciate the simplicity of nature's elements. In a world dominated by technology, cooking with stones reminds us of the raw power of fire and the inherent beauty of natural materials. It's a grounding experience that centers us in the present moment, allowing us to savor the essence of the earth and its bounty. So if you're intrigued and want to give it a try, how can you get started on your journey of discovering stone cooking? What steps can you take to experience this ancient practice for yourself? First, find the right location. Look for areas with smooth, flat stones, preferably near a water source. This will ensure that you have suitable stones for cooking and easy access to water for cleaning. Next, gather your materials. In addition to stones, you'll need a fire source, fuel, cooking utensils, and, of course, food. Choose ingredients that can be cooked using dry heat, such as bread, meat, or vegetables. Then build your stone oven or grill. Arrange the heated stones in a way that suits your cooking needs. You can create a flat surface for baking bread or a raised grill for cooking meat. Experiment with cooking times and temperatures. Since stone cooking is a slower process, be patient and allow ample time for your food to cook. Use a thermometer to gauge doneness and adjust cooking times accordingly. Finally, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Savor the unique flavors and textures that stone cooking imparts to your meals. Embrace the rustic charm and celebrate the connection to your ancestral heritage. If this journey through the forgotten art of cooking with stones has sparked your interest, we invite you to dive deeper into the world of ancient practices and cultural traditions. Subscribe to our channel and embark on an adventure through time. Together, we can keep these traditions alive, ensuring that they are not lost but cherished and celebrated. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Forgotten Old Path. Until next time, may your meals be filled with warmth, laughter, and the spirit of our ancestors.